Ladies and Benjamin, boys and girls, my name is Don K. Welton, but you already knew that, and we are back with another episode of APWA, episode 64. Now, before we get into things, I'd like to direct this to Reese. Can I call you Reese? I'll call you Reese. Reese, why the hell are you still at work? You've got like 16 plus diseases, some unknown to men. What the hell are you still doing at work? Are you trying to get the entire roster sick? Anyway, we open up the show with the new way forward. Of course we do, and they're demeaning someone as usual. This time is Whis, and they're called Whis predictable. They say they are going to injure Thunderhawk and Saam so badly that they won't have to put the titles on the line in the next episode 65, which is next week. So anyway, Whis took that to heart. And then we follow Dex Savage, who just goes through the entire locker room calling everybody weak. He just rocked up and was like, smells like bitch in here. Wait, we can't say that? It's a family show? Oh, okay. So anyway, it's Dex Savage versus Vusi Storm. And they were cooking, but Vusi Storm just got absolutely decimated and obliterated. It wasn't your traditional squash match. It was fun, and I give it a thumbs up. Also, by the end of it, Dex Savage stole Vusi Storm's student. So that finisher, I forgot. He has a name for it. I forgot. And last week I said it was more like a modified spine buster, but now that I think about it, it's more like a modified power bomb. So for you to get the image in your head, it's like a power bomb but with extra steps. So that's what it is. And Vusi just got obliterated with that even after the match. Just and then Vusi Storm's student gets taken. One thing I will say though is like I'm surprised that Faith wasn't on this episode, wasn't on the show, and I hope wherever Faith is, she's plotting and scheming and scheming and plotting because nobody's answering her open challenge. So Faith, I want you to lose all religion, all the religion that you have. Check it out. I hope you're plotting somewhere and scheming something devious for us. And then next segment, we get a call from Riot's handlers. And I'm not sure if Riot is a clone because he's a mercenary, sure, but I'm not sure if he's a clone or something because they're basically asking how Riot handled the situation, being that he lost the match last week against the Great William, and Wade was like winning was not the point, but he did great. He worked to my satisfaction. I think Riot is gonna get decommissioned because then we entered the match with Riot and Immanuel Khoza, which is a good match. Immanuel is someone I like watching. He improves each week. Each time he gets in the ring, he improves, and you can tell he's putting his heart and soul into every match. And Riot is just a freak athlete, man. He can make anyone look good. Me, I've never wrestled a day in my life, and he can make it look like I had 6 months of training. That's how good Riot is. Um, yeah, so the match, I'm not giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down, somewhere there in the middle. But for the story, yes, you could it gets a thumbs up because you could see Riot having those pesky emotions. So Riot, if you're watching this, man, if you're watching this, I'm telling you, you gotta shape up, man. You're about to get decommissioned. So Riot, shape up, my G. And then we move on to Alex Desire and Whis. So for some reason, Whis is in the locker room. What the hell are you doing in the locker room? Don't you have an office? Anyway, he's in the locker room, and Alex Desire finds him in the locker room and say, "Yo, Whis, my guy, my friend, my compadre. Um, my contract is coming up, and so yeah, I need a match for the performance title." And Whis was like, "Why don't you go for the what did they call it? The undisputed title. Yeah, and like I guess Alex Desire has something with Anansi, where like he was banned from like challenging from the for the main title which is held by Chris K, which is gonna be defended against Saam uh, the following week, episode 65. So yeah, so like Reese, I guess, is not on good terms with Anansi since last week. He sided with excuse me. He sided with his friend Ryan Cage, and so yeah, to screw with Anansi, he's going to renew Alex Desire's contract with a little more spice. And then we go to our main event. Our main event, which is the New Way Forward versus Thunderhawk and Sam. And I'll say this again. I will say it until it happens. My guy Sam is a star. He does not only need to feel like a star, he needs to look the part. Oh, Duncan Welton, you're glazing. Of course I'm glazing. Of course I'm glazing. There's premium glaze right there. Guy is a star. Just get this man proper gear, proper like a proper coat or something. Just look the part. I tell you, he just needs to look the part, and we're off to the races. This guy's star potential is crazy, you know. But anyway, it was the new way forward. So the Great William and Chris K, and versus Sam and Thunderhawk. And you just know when you see the new way forward there, Great William and Chris K, you're gonna get some nice premium, technical wrestling in there. The match was a bit of a slow burn, but once it started picking up, it picked up good. It was great technical wrestling for me. And oh, remember how they called Reese predictable at the beginning of the show? Well, he comes back and he says, "Yo, I'm gonna be commentator." That's just to mess up with their psychology. And then he said, "Oh, you remember season 3? You screwed someone over?" And then I'm bringing Wade Alucard, a special guest referee. I think another thing that made this match quite nice is also like Wade Alucard's personality in there. You could tell that like everybody involved there was just having fun. Well, not Thunderhawk, and definitely not Sam, but more Thunderhawk wasn't having really a really good time in that match because they were destroying that guy. They were just, but he brought it upon himself. He didn't want Sam to tag in and be in that match. So like in South Africa, we have a proverb, "Ozenzile Khalelo," which means we do not cry for those who bring tragedy upon themselves. That's their own baby. That's their own burden. They're their own beast of burden, basically. So that was it, by the time they were done with Thunderhawk, man, he had one less arm and his legs were shaking like a stripper. I'm telling you, it was terrible. Oh my god, someone get this guy Mad Pack. So it was a great match. That one gets a thumbs up. I think everybody in there understood the assignment. Wade Alucard was great as guest referee. By the time the match was over, oh yeah, despite Wade's best efforts, the new way forward won the match. And by the time the match was over, um, if something happened, Reese said like, since Thunderhawk is challenging for the Great Williams title next week. So both titles are on the line. Both the titles the companies have are on the line. Chris K against Sam, Thunderhawk against the Great William. And so he turned the thing into a three-way match between the Great William, Thunderhawk, and Wade Alucard, right? And so I guess Thunderhawk got in Wade's face and trying to blame him for losing, blame him for being in the match, and he got a future shock DDT for his troubles. Still no impaler though, but it's close enough. It's a DDT, but it's close enough, you know. I'm not sure how that's going to go. It's quite a bit of jeopardy. Also, I was wondering, like, some towards the end, in the end of the match, I was like, why doesn't Wade just attack the Great William? He's right there, and Chris Cade is right there. That could have been in quite the match. Why don't they? And then I remembered. So for those of you who don't know at home, the new way forward has a no sneak clause, right? It means that they can sneak you, but you can't sneak them. Weird contract. I don't know how it came to be, but yeah, you outside of a wrestling match, you cannot sneak the new way forward. So the best alternative is Thunderhawk. Yeah, yeah. And that's game. I don't know where Faith is. Again, I hope she's plotting and scheming and doing more plotting and scheming and losing religion. But that's been APWA 64. It was a good show. It was a good show. And do not let the lack of live fans deter you from watching the product. I do believe that it will grow the more people watch it. You know, more people watch it, more money gets invested in it, and it will grow. And I hope this sparks a little bit of your interest in the product. And like they're doing great, good work, I must say. So yeah, that was APWA episode 64, and thank you for watching me also, and please go and watch them and give them your love and support. You've been great. I've been done. You've been great. I'm out of here.